Hello Internet, welcome back to Daily Codes. Today we are going to talk about machine learning engineer and who a machine learning engineer is. This is kind of my first video to speak in front of camera like this. I'm not so confident in front of camera and hopefully it's going to go well. I'm trying to train myself to speak in front of camera and before the end of the year. I have like 60 days and hopefully this is going to be a good practice for me for the next 2 months so that at least I can be comfortable speaking with you guys in front of camera. It's kind of weird for me, I'm touching everywhere, I don't know why. So today I'm going to speak about machine learning engineer and who a machine learning engineer is, why should someone be a machine learning engineer, what are the skills that the market is looking for a machine learning engineer and so forth. I have all these questions written somewhere here on my computer, and hopefully let me carry my computer so that I don't feel so awkward in front of camera. Well, so for HRs and CEOs who are watching this video here, a machine learning engineer is someone who works with machine learning models and builds machine learning models for the company. And if you don't know what machine learning is, I think I should begin from what machine learning is, then I go into the role of machine learning engineer for you HRs and the CEOs who are watching these videos. Or you may not watch this video because this channel is predominantly data science channel and it's mostly people who are in math and computer science and software engineering who watch this channel. So if you're a CEO, you can leave a comment down below and say, oh hey, I am a CEO and I'm watching this video, or I'm a HR, I'm trying to find out who a machine learning engineer is because I've been told to hire machine learning engineers in my department or in your company. So what is machine learning? I can say machine learning is a way of making computer perform tasks without explicitly programming them. So for example is when you want a computer to do something, you would give it instructions to do that particular task. For example, if you want it to turn on, then you give it instructions on how to turn on. If you want your computer to save a file or reach the internet or send an email, you explicitly give instructions to computer, and people who give these instructions are what we know as software engineers because they write software, and software is generally a set of instructions that are given to a computer. But machine learning is a different way of which we make the computer perform tasks without explicitly giving them instructions. So what happens is that we train the computer to understand what is happening and then it learns what to do next. And the understanding of what is happening is what we call data. So the data is like a set of facts or raw facts that you have on your computer. Mostly they are stored in Excel. I think most of you have seen Excel files or Word documents or images. So it's just a set of information that you have on your computer. Now what happens is that for machine learning and development of a machine learning, call them models because they are kind of models or mathematical functions that you tweak here and there so that it can give you give it an input as your data and then it gives you an output. So where was I? I'm lost. I've just remembered that I'm in front of camera. So what is a machine learning model? A machine learning model is it's a mathematical function that is trained with the data, the information that you keep on your computer or the information that is gathered from everywhere on the web or somewhere else or for the company. And I've said that it's usually in your Excels, in your Word, in your CSV files, in your TSV files, in your images, and so forth. So this data here can be organized so that it acts as an input to a particular mathematical model, and then the output is what we expect as a behavior of what the mathematical model is. So it's different from explicitly giving instructions to a computer through software engineering. It's a different field, and I can call it a mathematical field, where you, instead of giving instructions to a computer, you give computer inputs and let the computer learn from what you have given it, and then make decisions or perform tasks for you that you would be doing naturally. For example, we can train a mathematical model to learn to identify images for cats and dogs. I think that is the most common example. And by training this model, we give it images of cats and images of dogs, and we shall be tweaking and tuning this model so that it will be learning that this is an image of a dog and this is an image of a cat. The basic way that this happens is that you give it an image of a dog, then it spits out an information of either a dog or a cat randomly, and then you score it and say that whatever you've given me out is not what was expected. For example, if you give it an image of a dog and it tells you that this is a cat, then you tune it so that it doesn't tell you that it is a dog anymore in the next round of training. So that is how machine learning is. You give a computer a set of data, the computer learns from the patterns of the data, and then from what it has learned, it can now act in the future to do tasks or to make decisions. And this is what you've seen with the boom of machine learning currently, where you have ChatGPT, you give it a question and it gives you an answer. And the training of ChatGPT was based on lots of data from the internet, which acted as an input, and then there was an iteration of training until it became, until it got the level of perfection that it has now. It is currently not so perfect, but at least it is a better model that has been given to the public. So, who is a machine learning engineer? Is a person who works with machine learning. Is a person who is comfortable with programming. Is a person who is comfortable with statistics, and is a person who is knowledgeable of the domain that he is working on. So, the machine learning engineer is the person who will help collect the data for building machine learning. Even before collecting the data, is the person who is going to devise the problem in general that you're trying to solve using machine learning or artificial intelligence, and then is going to devise how to collect that data that you're going to use to solve that problem. For example, if it is ChatGPT, a chat that is going to be a general chat for everyone, then is a person who is going to help clean that data and format it in a way that is going to be used for training. And then is a person who is going to select mathematical models that are going to be used to train and test these models that they're looking for. Is a person who is going to be writing the tests for the models. Is the person who's going to analyze the output of the models, and is the person who's going to select the models. So that is a machine learning engineer. And the future, or the 2024 machine learning, we are in 2023 if you're watching this video. So in the future, the person who is going to be a machine learning engineer is a person also who is going to be able to work with other machine learning models, for example, ChatGPT or any other model like BARD that is out there. So a machine learning engineer should be able to collect data, clean data, build models, select models, test models, and then should be able to work with other models that they have not built to solve the problems of the company. So they should be able to write prompts if they are working with APIs like the one for OpenAPI to get information and then give it to the company or the problems that they are solving. So the new age machine learning engineer should be able to work with the ChatGPT, for example, or BARD to solve their problems. Yeah, I have some questions here that that I need to address. So, who is a machine learning engineer? I've already spoken about that. What would we be looking for in a machine learning engineer? So, this is a job description that I got from BrainStation, and the BrainStation guys are saying that a machine learning engineer should be able to design, develop, and research machine learning systems, models, and schemes. I think I've already spoken about that. Studying, transforming, and converting data science prototypes into a working product. So, in a company, you may be having just a machine learning engineer, or you may be having a machine learning engineer, you may be having a data engineer, you may be having a data scientists and analysts who are capable of building machine learning models. So the machine learning engineer should be able to make these prototypes or move these prototypes from whatever the rest of the team is having as models and turn them into products for the company or for the problem that they're solving. The machine learning engineer should be able to search and select appropriate data set before performing data collection and data modeling, performing statistical analysis and using results to improve the models. I think I've spoken about this. And then training and retaining machine learning models, identifying the differences in data distribution and that could affect model performance in real world situations and so forth. There's so many. I will leave the link to the job description for a machine learning engineer in the description. So the next question is, where do machine learning engineers come from? They come from heaven. Machine learning engineers come from heaven. They just fall with, they do skydiving from heaven. No, I'm just joking. Machine learning engineers are majorly computer science, people with a strong backgrounds of mathematics, and those fields that use math and those fields that require you to have strong mathematical and programming backgrounds like computer science, mathematics, engineering, and so forth. Machine learning engineers are mostly coming from those fields. And then the next question is, characteristics of successful machine learning engineer: a person who can program and is comfortable programming, a person who is comfortable with working in iteration, where you release a product, then you learn from what the product gives you as an input, then you work on it again in iteration as you continue perfecting it. A person who is comfortable working with mathematical models and is comfortable with math in general. A person who is also comfortable with working with other people, because machine learning engineer is not just working alone. You work with people who are getting data for you. You work with people who are giving you feedback from the models that you have. So a successful machine learning engineer is the person who is comfortable with all the four fields that I've told you. What jobs are similar to machine learning engineering since it involves programming and math? Data science is similar, data analytics is similar. We have business intelligence, we have software engineering, and which other one? Yeah, majorly those. You could add others. I think there are so many. Who does machine learning engineer work with? They work with the business, because you just don't develop the model for no one. You develop it for either the business or the organization that you're working for. So you'll work with people who understand the business well, because they're the ones who will give you the context of the model that you're going to build. And then you're going to be working with data scientists, you're going to be working with data engineers who will be providing you data and cleaning for you the data. You're going to be working with data analysts who will help you analyze the data and so forth. Who does a machine learning engineer work with? We've seen that. Reasons to become a machine learning engineer: it is lucrative currently. You can build your own products for machine learning. You can, it is rewarding, and why should you become a machine learning? It is fun to build machine learning models and so forth. So this has been my 15 minutes of film. I didn't know that I could speak for this long in front of the camera. This is my first time doing this. Hopefully I can improve over time. And until then, please take care of yourself, and bye-bye. Bye-bye.